Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the workshop. It's fantastic to have you here as ever, because today is part 2 of working on a Viking sword. We need to work down our twisted steel and continue making ourselves a fantastic pattern. Before we hop in, let's thank today's sponsor, which is NordVPN. What is a VPN? It is a virtual private network. The whole point is to act as an intermediary between you and the websites you browse. They offer a military-grade encryption that helps keep you safe while you're browsing, and they're giving you folks 77% off their 3-year protection plan when you go to the link in the description, nordvpn.com/forge. And be sure to use Forge at checkout. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring the video, and let's get right to it. That's all 9 pieces done. This is exciting. I have now done more research on this blade than any other blade I've ever done, and this is exciting. Oh my goodness, to delve back into history and be trying to attempt something with an actual historical inspiration. This is the same excited feeling I had when we started making the falchion, but even more, up a notch. I'm not making sense. I don't mind, because I'm having so much fun. So here is the plan. The Viking sword is going to be inspired by the 900 to 950 AD period. It's going to have a 750mm blade, 52mm wide at the base, at 600mm, 40mm wide, and the fuller is going to be 110mm short of the tip. This is based off a Type 3 Geibig classification sword. This book by Ian Pierce has huge amounts of information about the Type 3. Oh, look at that, connected to NordVPN. And I've put together this page here that outlines some further information about the Type 3 sword, from Geibig, from Wheeler's typology, and more, to basically nail down the designer sword I want, all the way through to the types of pommel that I want to be taking inspiration from. Now again, this is going to be inspired by a 950s example, so it's not going to be historically accurate, especially because the Damascus pattern that we're trying to attempt, though they did herringbone patterns, this isn't just herringbone pattern. This is a herringbone twisted pattern with W's in there. You remember what the Viking sacks looked like?
I did, yeah.
The little explosions in there? This too, at the seams of our twist Damascus, will hopefully have those explosions, provided we've got enough material. So Alex, can you run us through what you've been up to since we forged out that twist Damascus?
Absolutely. per bar I have ground clean 2 surfaces on either side to get to clean, even, flat material. Then I've chalked up the areas that were inaccurate so that we could see what area was clean.
Oh, let's just show them that, so that we don't get this funky material right there where there's a crack in there, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And then I've stacked them alternatingly with anti-clockwise and then clockwise so that we have an alternating herringbone pattern.
Outstanding, great work. That now means that we can tack weld this together, cut off some excess. That forge is heating up again, and we're gonna make some more sparks and forge weld this together. But there is one thing that we missed. I also had you do one more thing.
So I have done a volume calculation on this middle part here, resulting in 410,000 cubic millimeters. But we have to account for the scale that we have to grind through. So we made a new calculation that resulted in 330,000 cubic millimeters.
Now that is all very important because now we know how much material we have available. We can work out if it's enough for the sword. With this pattern, we need to be able to grind down to expose it. So we need to forge thick and grind down a lot. Now what I've got to do is I've got to work out if I forge this blade out to 8 millimeters thick, will we have enough steel for it? So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take a photo with my phone, open up the laptop, open up Fusion. I've placed that image on my phone in here. We're gonna draw over it, extrude it out to 8 millimeters, and then find out how heavy it is. So we've got it modeled up. I multiplied our volume by 0.008, and that brings us out to exactly 2,400 grams of good material. The model, 8 millimeters thick, which is so much thicker than the final blade, is 2.344 kilos. Oh, does that feel good? This is Alex's second time ever welding. He has tack welded up the piece. We've got enough material. We've got 2.4 kilos. We need 2.34, so we're close enough. And so now it is time. It's going in the forge. Time to get this welded. So Alex has done a great job grinding through all of the little problems that you get on the weld seams on something like that. There are no cracks, the welds have taken. We know we don't want the material quite at the ends. That's fine though. We should have plenty. This is going in the fire. There we go. And what I have done here on the drawing is I have worked out the critical measurements that I need on this as forged. Obviously, we're making a 750 millimeter long blade. That's 29.5 inches. And this time, unlike on the falchion where I didn't even think about tang length, this time we are thinking about tang length. And I know with an 85 millimeter long, what on earth is that called? Grip. There we go. Who forgets what a grip is? With an 85 millimeter long grip, peening the tang through the bottom half of the pommel, we need at least 5 inches of material to play it safe. With that, we need 90 centimeters at least. It's about 3 feet at least a total length. Hopefully, we get it. We're gonna cut it off with this. That should be good material on the end. Oh, yeah, we're making a sword. We're making a sword! Oh, this is exciting! Woo! I've got the front third of the sword, kind of how it is that I want it. I'm leaving the tip wide. Leaving the tip wide. I don't want to scrunch up that pattern too much. That also means that we can grind the tip into straight, which I think is going to be helpful. We're now heating up the middle third of the sword. We're going to move away from the Pilkington and back to this. The Pilkington hits harder, but the dies are extremely wide, meaning it sucks the heat out of the piece, and there's so much surface area contact that on such a wide, long piece like this, it's not moving a lot of material. These dies here are a little narrower. Ah! I think that was a hornet. These dies are a little bit narrower, which means that we're going to be able to penetrate into the steel deeper, move more material, and thin out the back 2/3 of the blade to the 8mm that we're aiming for. That's about 5/16 of an inch, which is pretty much twice the thickness of the final piece. I need to turn the power hammer on, don't I? That'd be helpful. Hey, here we go! One, two, three. So as we finished up the forging of the blade, we gave it 2 normalizing cycles, 1 quench, and 1 spherodizing cycle, meaning that we now have a soft blade ready to work. And I want to thank NordVPN for sponsoring today's episode. As I said earlier, a VPN, what Nord provides is protection between you and people who are able to intercept the path between the websites you're accessing, the data that goes between it, and yourself. I've explained this before in some interesting ways. Why don't we flash back to that? We get the website to send information to the virtual private network, and then our handy Vice private network encrypts that information, which means that it jumbles it all up so a hacker can't get it before sending it to you. So NordVPN has over 4,000 servers in 61 countries that will access the information from the websites for you, encrypt it, and send it to you. They have apps for Mac, apps for PC, iPhone, and Android. Now, NordVPN is not just fantastic for that military-grade encryption. They're also fantastic because with the click of a button in their app, a swipe around, you can decide where it is that you want the websites you browse to think you're coming from. Because the websites that you browse will think that you are where the NordVPN server is. And they've got servers all over the world. So if I want to be in the UK, we'll be in the UK. And like that, we're connected. NordVPN does not data log. There is unlimited bandwidth. And the best part is they have a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't like it for whatever reason, you know you're safe with NordVPN. Thank you, NordVPN, for sponsoring the episode. And please make sure that you go to the link in the description below, nordvpn.com/forge. Use code FORGE at checkout and get 77% off their 3-year plan. Hit that link. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode.